Develop a fortune state of mind, state of mind. It's time for a date with, time for a date with the Dorseys.
Hello, 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 and welcome to another Date with the Dorseys. Hashtag Date with the Dorseys. And I am Dr. Jatan.
And I'm Floyd Dorsey.
And we are welcoming you to another great session. If you caught us last week, you know that, we talk about the 5 F's. And I won't go into that right now because that'll give you a reason to go and listen to last week's episode.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
But today we will be focusing on one of those F's, which we promised that we had done in the past and we'll continue to do. All topics will align to one of the F's. So today we'll be talking about finances as it pertains to the household and budgeting overall.
Yeah, it's very important.
Very.
One of the most important things, right?
Absolutely. I know it's been statistically several breakups and makeups behind some coins. So what we want to do is just share some tried and true, as I would like to call it, tips that we've done and implemented and learned about along our way so that we can help you do the same in your household.
Yep. So I'll kick it off with a couple thoughts. One, again, this is our recommendation. It is not anything that we take lightly. We actually take it quite seriously, and we've employed it for our household and our focus for years. So we do encourage you all to, if you don't have this model, maybe something similar, right? Mm-hmm. Or whatever works for each individual household, a couple, or relationship, or family. But to have some type of system that you employ to ensure that your household and your budgeting stays on track. So I know a lot of people out there have reservations about seeing financial planners and things of that nature. While I'm a big proponent of it, I think it's very important because there are things you may find and learn that you may not ordinarily know, or you may think you know, and it's probably changes that are going on from either taxes or things of that nature that you could adjust your financial spending and to take advantage of that you may not be aware of. So you have paid professionals that stay fairly abreast of all those type of changes. So it's good to have those in your network to help you along the way. And
not only that, but they can also help hold you accountable, especially if there's one or both of you who struggle to stay on task when it comes to the bank account and the spending and all that. Yeah. It's good to have a third party to assist with keeping everyone on track.
I agree. So there are four different things that we'll touch on that'll help you along the way. And the first one for establishing your household plan or your household budget or running your finances within your household. And I like to look at it like it's your own business within itself, right? So the first thing that we say is engagement and alignment. Mm-hmm. Now, that comes with within your household, that comes with just opening up the books, bring the family together, because I think as a family, each participant or each individual within that family is a stakeholder. Mm-hmm. And it's important, just like in any corporation or organization, that you bring all stakeholders together. And you really want to open the books, like do an assessment. Where are we today? Like, let's just look at the accounts. Let's look at our debt. Let's look at everything to see kind of how we stand. What's the health of our household, and what does it look like?
Right. So having a family meeting, coming together and intentionally setting aside time to have these discussions is very important. I know that when I casually mention this to, others, maybe whether it be friends or family, they often say, so you guys have a family meeting, like all two of you? Yes, we do.
We do.
Regularly. But carry on. Okay.
Yeah, so that is, and I know a lot of people say, well, this is adult business or grown folks business, as we put it, right? Mm-hmm. So they leave the children out, but what they're robbing the children of that actual learning experience, for learning how to understand the budget and the finances and running a household, because they're really not. I don't remember learning it in school, or in classes. So that's the best place to really bring the children together, or bring them to the table, to help them understand how this works.
Right. And then that gives them, the adults, an opportunity to share with the children preparation for educational finances as well, right? How to strategically and I guess to say in a short term, in a smart way, manage that money. Because although you may be getting grants and or loans, it may look like it's fun and dandy when you're getting that cash in.
Once you go out to school, you're right. Once you become independent and realize.
Right. Wait a minute. I should have returned those checks.
I didn't need that much money for those student loans and things of that nature.
Right.
But that is a definite learning tool for them that would help them as they leave the household and go out on their own. But aside from the engagement and alignment, also with engagement and alignment of the stakeholders or with the family, you may also have an opportunity to teach the children if they want new shoes or new clothes and all that. You can tie it back to the plan or the discussion that you have in the day and make it real to them so they understand the financials for the family and how that translates into different things that they want to experience or things they want to do, things they want to purchase on their own, right?
So they understand the true meaning of currency, which is what we call it, right?
Exactly.
And that means it just flows in and it flows out. Just as easy as it came in, it can go right on out.
Exactly.
So it's good to understand, not even just for children, but for adults as well, the importance of knowing exactly where you stand financially and what's coming in, what's going out. You know, I had to learn that even for myself, not really just always having the habit of keeping track of that. So I definitely know both sides of that now. So as we continue into this one, what were you?
The next one.
The next one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought we had more on that one.
No. We'll transition to the next one because I think it's a great deal.
Perfect.
Once you have the family together and everyone's on the same page, the next thing is to do is to develop a vision or in goals, right?
Yeah.
So where are we going? We understand that we're all on the same page now. We're all aligned. We understand where we are, but now where are we going? Like what's the end game? And this may change over the years, but I think it's something to revisit at least annually to understand, are we still on, do we still have that same vision? Do we still have the same goals? Or do we need to reshape it because of other life changes or life events that have taken place?
Or what have we achieved from our previous goals that now we can celebrate, and move forward to something bigger and better as a financial goal.
Yeah, you already
Did I go into the next one? Oh, my bad. Let's back up.
No, but I think it's definitely important. So you want to have that very clear in terms of your vision and your goals. Now, this may be a great opportunity to bring in your financial advisors at this particular stage because they will help you shape your vision or your goals and what's realistic, what's not. What type of accounts do you have? You have 401ks is the best instruments, IRAs, whether stocks, bonds, life insurance. There's so many different investment tools and vehicles that are out there that can be utilized to help you achieve your vision or your goals. And even the use of savings accounts, like, if you're having thousands and thousands of dollars just sitting in savings accounts, why is it there if it's not really generating any return or it's not working for you?
Right.
So it's really helping you, set your goals and your vision up in the right place. Now, again, there are several financial advisors out there, so it may take you some searching to find the best one for you. However, I do at this particular stage, that is a recommendation of mine to definitely seek out some professional assistance in doing that.
And I think one thing that we haven't really pointed out as we are talking through these tips and or practices that we recommend is documenting. Like having these conversations is good, but you definitely have to have some sort of tracker so that everyone's functioning off the same plan, because I know even for me day to day I can forget. So I need to have something on a spreadsheet and my notes on my phone. So figure out the best way that works for you and hold each other accountable. Because I know Mr. Dorsey, he'll be asking me how we tracking towards that goal. And my memory doesn't serve me correctly all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
No, but you brought up a great point. So we'll get into our next point,
Perfect,
right? You brought up a great point that transitions us to our next point.
Awesome.
Right? Point. So the next one is to create that strategy and that plan for achieving those goals and that vision, right? And I'm talking not just saying we're going to do it, but really, as my wife was just stating, document it. Right? There's so many different templates and tools out there that could be employed to help you achieve this, right? Or even some of you may be savvy at Excel and can create your own document. But however that is, for most organizations or companies, they have a whole finance department that tracks these things with several different types of financial tools. So I would encourage for your household, if you run it, effectively like a business or some sort of in some form, right? To have your own way of documenting your plan and your strategy and how you're going to achieve it.
Right.
And that is very key. And doing so, right? You may have a budget or a plan, you may have your strategy and plan that it's an annual outlook. You may have something that's quarterly, and then you have something that's monthly. Now, it depends on how things move in your household, how much money is flowing. But either way, I think something at least annually or quarterly will be good. For me, I prefer monthly because I like to revisit it quite frequently.
Yes, he does.
Just to make sure things are moving in the right direction. But again, that is something that it would vary depending on the individuals in the household.
All right. So in essence, documentation beats conversation.
There you go.
'Cause we can talk about it all day long, but that doesn't, hold us to it, nor does it keep us on track towards the goals. What does that usually say if it's not measurable? What do you say?
If it's not measurable, you can't. If you can't monitor it, you can't measure it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So you definitely need to be able to monitor it in order to measure it. Right. And it's important to monitor, which is actually the last step. Before I get into that, though, I do want to have one caveat that most people would have a plan, they're working towards it, they're on track, and they feel pretty good, but something happens in life, right? Or something happens to someone else in your family, like outside of your household, that needs your assistance.
Yeah.
And most people are just completely thrown off, right? What do I do? And for me, I'd say plan for the unexpected, right? If you look back over your life and over the last maybe 5 to 10 years, how many of those events have taken place, right? Some of you are probably will be the primary care giver of your parents or some type of maybe an elderly person or whatever it may be. Well, as we're aging, things probably will have a higher probability of those type of events happening, that you will need to extend some resources or funds to care for them.
Right.
So plan for that. Include that into your budget as well. I do encourage you to be well-rounded and think it all the way through in terms of your while you're creating your strategy and your plan.
So the expected and the unexpected. So having something on reserve just in case those instances come about, so that when they do, it's not you scrambling trying to figure out where I can move money or do I have the money. And it gives you a limit to where if these situations come, you can say, oh, well, that's been exhausted.
It's been exhausted. So you have to catch me on next year's plan, next year's budget.
I love it. Love it.
But, I do recommend that you plan for those type of things. And the last one, as Dr. Jatan just touched on briefly, is to execute and monitor. And these are the sessions where you have your monthly or quarterly check-ins. I enjoy these sessions because it really gives me an idea. It's like a scoreboard. I can see how I'm doing, right? I can see how I'm doing against plan and how I'm doing against the budget. And if you are doing well, it's a good reason to celebrate and keep on track, keep the momentum going. If you're not, then you have to really do a critical look and where do we go wrong and how do we reassess or reevaluate so that we can get back on track.
Right. So then that's the moment of which, where's the celebration? That's what I want to hear about. Where can we?
Well, you celebrating all the way through. I think each step, once you have achieved and checked off each step, it warrants a celebration because getting to this level of detail and rigor within your household and your finances, I think will certainly bring forth a lot of fruit. And I think it warrants a celebration at each step.
Absolutely. And with us being in the final month of the year, and it comes around every year. Mm-hmm. However, oftentimes we just don't prepare for it. But this is a perfect moment to have this conversation as we progress and get very close to 2018. Finances are very important. I mean, you're around, but now is the time.
Right.
If you haven't done it before, no need to wait until...
You don't have to wait till the beginning of the year to start this, right? And then also remember, while you're beginning your planning for 2018, just know Christmas and holidays are going to come in 2018.
Every year.
You come at the same time every year. So plan for those as well, right?
Yep.
For back to school, all those type of things that you know that they're coming. they come every year. So be prepared for them. Children, like I said, going to school, going on vacations, all those type of things. So really plan for them, making sure that you're executing on your plan, and then monitor your progress. Do your check-ins, whether, again, that's monthly or quarterly, and celebrate each milestone along the way, because it is a strong accomplishment to be able to manage and own your finances within your household.
And that should be an intricate part of your vision boards as well, if you're doing those. I know many people, when they do those vision boards, they have these nice cars and these, everything that costs, but they don't have that plan.
right.
To get to that expense, to be able to afford that. But you just dreaming it
it's
on
good.
this
It's
vision
good
board.
having it sitting pretty up there on the
Yes,
board, right?
yes.
But now, how do we track from where we are today
to get to that
vision?
Right.
And just praying and closing your eyes and wishing just doesn't quite happen. It has to be a little bit more to it. I am a proponent of thoughts and how those things do manifest into reality with those thoughts, but then between the thought and the reality, there is some work. There are some things that takes place. So again, hold yourself and hold your partner accountable, as we always say. Every stakeholder within the household, or every family member, whoever's a part of that team, whether if it's a team of one or a team of many, everyone has to be held accountable to the plan.
Absolutely.
Now, I know there have been questions, and I've had them, and I know my wife's had them up. Do we have joint accounts? Do we have separate accounts? We're not going to get into all that, but that may vary or depend on each situation
I had
in
that
each household.
thought too.
Right.
I was going to bring it up, but yeah.
Right. Like, how do we do accounts and all that? I mean, it just truly depends.
Your preference and, the dynamics of the finances.
So in our household, we have more of an interdependent type of setup, right? Where there is aspects of her business that she's totally independent on, because I trust that she's going to do everything that she needs to do with her finances, and vice versa. There are things that I have totally autonomy on and independent on, but there are things that we bring together.
Granted, he knows about every coin, though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm fully
so we do know about each other's coins.
Right.
But, we
know what's going on.
Right.
But we understand and we trust, okay, that's fine. I trust that you're going to live up to your plan, and we check in according to that plan, right? For any raises or increases or bonuses and all that. Again, that's a part of how we're tracking our plans. We want to know what's going out and what's coming in, right? That's how currency flows. What's coming in and what's going out. And again, that's important that we, collectively have those conversations, and we recommend that all of you do the same.
Right. And not only just focusing on what's going out and what's coming in, but how can we get more coming in, right?
There you go.
That residual income as well is important.
And what comes in, how do we keep it in? And how do we grow
how do we
it?
make it, keep it in, make it grow.
Make it grow.
Exactly.
That's it.
Okay. Well, with that, we are going to close out this week's session as we spoke about family budgeting, finances, and many other topics that can help you be successful as you manage your currency within your household. So we hope that you found this information beneficial. We hope that you plan on immediately implementing these tips so that you can be prepared as you go into 2018, and not waiting until you get to 2018.
That's right. That's it. And if you want to learn more, please reach out from what we do. I mean, again, it's nothing that we're selling, but we're always here to offer our shared experiences and recommendations that you may employ or help add to your arsenal of tools to have you on track for a successful 2018.
All right. And to that point, eventually we will have a program to where we can offer more insight, so you can have some actual homework too, because I know that keeps some people held accountable, right?
That's it.
So if you have any recommendations, if you want to see that from us and you think it'll be beneficial for you, email us at support@fortuneenterprise.com. And remember, Fortune is IVTUNE, enterprise.com. And as my husband mentioned, I think on the last week, coming up, we'll be announcing an opportunity to actually have a date with the Dorseys.
Absolutely. Oh, it's going to be a good time.
He's already envisioning it, right?
I see it.
So we'll be talking more about that as we get closer to the date of which we intend on doing so. I think Valentine's around that time,
good.
that'll be, I think
somewhere around that time. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Things tend to get a little pricey around there. Right?
Oh,
Is that a good
okay.
time? We got to manage that inflow and outflow coin.
We gotta watch that currency. Right? But yeah, so you'll be hearing more about that as well. So please tune in, keep following us, share this podcast. Okay, so we will be back next week. Thank you again for joining. This is yet another Date with the Dorseys. Bye.
Bye.
Develop a fortune state of mind, state of mind. It's time for a date with, time for a date with the Dorseys.